Ronald Charles and Associates, One Pot Bar, Prevo Cinemal, Gem Car Rental Company in Canefield, La Falaise Medical Laboratory, Jackson's and Son, and Soul's Delight.
AC Shillingford and Company Limited, Bloombox, Morency and Sons Limited, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Maxroy Trading, J. Estefans and Company Limited, Springfield Trading Limited, National Cooperative Credit Union, Garraway Enterprises, Continental Store, and Bullseye Pharmacy.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, a taxi operator from Scotshead is remanded in custody after being charged with murder. In the news from the region, Caribbean leaders strongly reject claims of forced labor concerning Cuban medical professionals. And internationally, Ukraine president says Russia's President Putin's response to Ukraine's ceasefire plan is manipulative. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow FastPay. Flow FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
And welcome back. First off, a taxi operator from Scotshead, Kelvin Trevor Augustus. But before we go into that story, let's kick off with our parliamentary story. A parliamentary representative for the Margaret constituency, Anthony Charles, has urged Dominicans and member states of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank to support the establishment of a regional regulatory body for citizenship by investment program. Charles says he welcomes the establishment of this regulatory body, highlighting that the CBI program is crucial for the economies of the ECCU member states. His remarks come following his recent participation in a high-level consultation held yesterday at the ECCB agency office in Dominica.
On Wednesday, March 12, I attended a high-level consultation on the establishment of a regional regulatory body for the Citizen by Investment program held at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Agency office in Roseau. The initiative seeks to enhance the transparency, accountability, and sustainability of the CBI program across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union member states. The Citizen by Investment program has been instrumental in the economical resilience of our region, funding key national development projects and social initiatives. A unified regulatory body will not only enhance the best practice but also preserve the international confidence in our CBI program. So yours truly, Anthony Charles, parliamentary representative for Margot, fully endorse this regulatory body, which is being enacted for the CBI program, and I would like to see the full cooperation of all member states and citizens of Dominica to support this regulatory body.
Parliamentary representative for the Margaret constituency, Anthony Charles. And to our headline story, a taxi operator from Scotshead, Kelvin Trevor Augustus Albert, better known as Langsal, has been remanded in custody on a charge of murder. The accused appeared before Magistrate Pearl Williams this morning, where the charge was read to him. Ronaldo Luke reports.
During the hearing, Albert was not required to enter a plea, as the matter is an indictable offense, expected to be tried at the High Court. The complaint stated that between March 1st and 9th, 2025, at the corner of Hanover Street and King George V Street in Roseau, Albert murdered Andrew George Pinard, male 69 years of Newtown, who resided at Bellevue Roll. Reports indicate that a physical altercation between the two men over $20 led to Pinard being admitted to the intensive care unit at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He later succumbed to his injuries on March 8, 2025. At the hearing, attorney Gina Dyer Monroe, holding papers for attorney Zena Moore Dyer, urgently requested disclosure from the prosecution. In response, Magistrate Williams ordered that disclosure from the 11 witnesses be provided to the defense no later than April 30th, 2025. Under the new Bail Act of 2020, individuals charged with murder cannot be granted bail at the magistrate court, as the authority to do so rests exclusively with the High Court. Consequently, the matter was adjourned to July 4, 2025, for the commencement of the preliminary inquiry. The accused was remanded into custody at the Dominica State Prison. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
Special thanks to Ronaldo Luke for that report. Acting Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade, Julian Defoe, says a competition policy for the Caribbean will benefit from the policy. Dominica is staging the high-level workshop on competition policy and law enforcement.
It is about ensuring fairness, protecting consumers, encouraging innovation, and creating an environment where businesses, large and small, can thrive together. This is where CARICOM's competition policy and the OECS commissions play a pivotal role in detailing a clear objective to guide the policy. First of all, to promote fair competition by eliminating anti-competitive practices that stifle innovation and growth. Second, to safeguard consumer welfare by preventing unfair practices such as price fixing and deceptive advertising. Third, to foster economic efficiency and innovation, ensuring that our businesses remain competitive not only within the region but also the global stage. Through this policy, the aim is to create a level playing field, ensuring that no single business, regardless of size or influence, can distort the market to the detriment of others. However, enforcing this policy is not without its challenges. It is clear that some member states face gaps in the implementation of competition legislation. Some lack the necessary institution, while others grapple with limited resources.
Acting Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade, Julian Defoe. Executive Director of the CARICOM Competition Commission is Naivia Ramsunda.
The reliance that we've had over the past 2 decades of taking matters that are competitive in nature and treating them with trade remedies have led to a vicious and virtual cycle of approvals, exemptions, tariffs, removals, and instead of building a single market and economy, we have built a framework where we have just embedded and entrenched deep divides between our member states instead of harmonizing them. Now is the time. You are seeing that the bigger powers are getting bigger, particularly in the trade market. So it is time for us now to acknowledge that our consumers matter to us. They are votes, but they are also our purchasers, our producers. They give us the chain, not just in our own country of Dominica and each island, but in the whole single market and economy. So what steps are we going to take? Yes, we can support the Regional Competition Commission financially and also technically so that we can help you with cross-border matters. But in order to do that, we have to make sure we have a working consumer welfare system and a working competition system. Because when those two things work hand in hand, you can assess the effectiveness of your market and you can ensure that you are gaining the maximum benefit that you deserve.
Executive Director of the CARICOM Competition Commission, Naivia Ramsunda. The workshop on competition policy and law enforcement is underway at the State House Conference Center. Silver Airways has announced it will discontinue all flights to Dominica as part of its ongoing Chapter 11 bankruptcy restructuring. The decision, revealed after the airline filed for voluntary bankruptcy protection on December 30th of 2024 in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Southern District of Florida, which also included the termination of flights to other destinations, notably Orlando, marking a substantial shift in Silver's operations. The carrier has cancelled bookings for multiple travelers, including those with tickets scheduled through August 2025. For the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Silver has played a crucial role in the inter-island and regional travel, the move raises concerns about connectivity, economic impact, and the future of regional air travel. The USVI is also home to a significant Dominican diaspora, making this change even more consequential. With Silver discontinuing the route, travel options are now more limited, potentially leading to higher fares on alternative carriers. American Airlines currently serves Dominica from Miami, whilst regional carriers like Liat, Win Air, and Caribbean Airlines offer connections via Antigua, St. Martin, or the British Virgin Islands. Still in the national focus, Minister for Community Development and Culture Greta Roberts has told councillors of the Trafalgar Shawford Forcani Village Council that they should take ownership of the council. She says council members hold a great responsibility.
You are the ones the communities selected as the persons with the local knowledge, competence and commitment to be members of your local government. Permit me for a moment to reflect on what this new position holds for you. If you're truly serious about becoming a councillor, about giving service to the community, about building a better Trafalgar, Shawford and Forcani, then, my dear councillors, be prepared to put your shoulders to the wheel. Simply put, council work is very hard work. You have to be dedicated to the task. You have to attend meetings whenever they are called. You're expected to be the voice of the community, engage them, build relationships with them, listen to them, and respond to their needs whenever possible. As leaders in the community, much is expected of you, and each of you must demonstrate an unwavering resolve to do whatever must be done to produce the best results, no matter how challenging, for the good of the community.
Minister for Community Development and Culture, Greta Roberts. The Dominica Social Security has announced an increase in payouts. Deputy Director Augustus Etienne says this decision comes in response to the growing aging population in Dominica. He noted that although the organization is currently paying out more than it is receiving in contributions, its outgoing investment strategies continue to yield positive returns.
We want to say that we were happy to have realized an increase in our contributions income, and that is to be expected to a certain extent. But while this is happening, we also see increases in our benefit payments. Now, we exist to pay benefits, and that is not an issue, but given our current population dynamics, where we have an aging population, every year we have more and more people qualifying for pension, and those pensions are payable at very high rates and over long periods of time. So while we saw an increase in our contribution income, we also saw an increase in our benefit payments. Because our system is a partially funded system, people access benefits based on contributions that they make to the system, but their contributions alone is not sufficient to support the payments that we have to make to each such person when they qualify for benefit. So for the last several years, our benefit expenses exceed our contributions. We pay out more in benefits every year than we actually collect in contributions. So the fact that we're able to pay benefits means that our benefit payments are being subsidized by investment returns. Because let's say we collect $70 million in contributions, we pay out 72 or 73 million in benefits. But because we have investments that we've made over the years, the returns on investment allow us to make the shortfall in contribution. And it's not something that was not expected. And that is why the system has to continue to undergo review periodically to make changes to ensure the system can remain both sustainable and relevant to people.
Deputy Director of the Dominica Social Security, Augustus Etienne. And on the feature segment of the DBS Evening News, a 65-year-old woman of the Kalinago territory has been recognized for her contribution to farming. Regina Joseph Lestrade received an award from the Ministry of Health and Social Services on International Women's Day, as she's the feature on DBS Evening News.
Well, I'm farming for over 50 years now, and I plant resilient plants You know, after banana goes down, I didn't really put my eggs into one basket. I plant other resilient things, like I plant yam, I plant ginger, I have cucumber, I have kush, I have cocoa, and other stuff. So that is what I am doing, and it's organic, no pesticide whatsoever. I'm doing this for 50 years now. I am 65 years. I'm doing farming since 14, 15 years.
What are the challenges you've encountered over these years, and what has kept you going for so many years in agriculture?
Yes, first thing I have to give God thanks and praise, because without Him I wouldn't be able to do it, because He gave me the strength. And I must say I am blessed, because I am alive and I am doing well. It really helps me, because I'll give you an example. Vectiver, I plant vectiver on my farm, and today, if I have a little saving, it's from vectiver and cassava.
So what is your message to the rest of Dominica, those who have said they will not get back into agriculture because of all the difficulties? What do you say to them?
Well, the advice I want to tell them, let us go back to the farming, because the land is there, let us work it. We have to plant what we grow and grow what we eat. That is the most important thing to keep us healthy. And through that we can make a difference in agriculture. When I look at agriculture in the Kalinago territory, people like me, probably if I do encourage others, when I go, everything will be, I don't see much people, especially the young people, we really have to encourage them to get back into agriculture, because agriculture is our livelihood.
And that was Regina Joseph Lestrade, taking us to the end of this evening's featured segment, A National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
And welcome back. And now news from the region. Caribbean leaders continue to add their voices in disagreement with the United States government's decision to expand an existing Cuba-related visa restriction policy that targets the forced labor linked to Cuban labor export programs. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley and St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves say they are prepared to have the United States visas revoked.
That we could not get through the pandemic without the Cuban nurses and the Cuban doctors. I will also be the first to tell you that we paid them the same thing that we pay Bajans, and that the notion, as was peddled not just by this government in the US, but the previous government, that we were involved in human trafficking by engaging with the Cuban nurses, was fully repudiated and rejected by us. Now, I don't believe that we have to shout across the seas, but I am prepared, like others in this region, that if we cannot reach a sensible agreement on this matter, then if the cost of it is the loss of my visa to the US, then so be it. But what matters to us is principles. And I have said over and over that principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by it.
If it is determined that you have to take away my visa and Eloise's visa, I want to say this publicly. It could be reported. I'm not looking for fight with anybody, but we have to be honest and open. The hemodialysis which we do in St. Vincent at the Modern Medical and Diagnostic Center with these 60 persons, without the Cubans there, I will not be able to offer that service. So, does anybody expect that I to go because I want to keep a visa?
St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, and before him was the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley. Internationally, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says Putin's response to the ceasefire proposal is manipulative and calls for more sanctions on Russia to force a peace deal. In his daily evening addresses, Zelensky says Putin's preconditions will not make a ceasefire possible, and it's only Russia that will delay things. This comes after Putin said fighting must end in Ukraine, but insisted a ceasefire would or should remove underlying causes of this crisis. In the news conference, the Russian leader said he supports the idea of a ceasefire, but there are issues that we need to discuss. Well, this is all the time we have for the news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
And welcome to your DBS Evening Sports Package for today, Thursday, March 13th. First off, for an update on the regional cricket tournament, we go to sports editor Gavin Richards.
Well, good evening, Hassan Robinson, and of course, a good evening to the many listeners of DBS Radio. And for the regional update, of course, the CWI Regional 4 tournament in full swing at a number of venues across the Caribbean. A lot of attention, of course, on the Windward Islands Volcanoes as they're battling the Guyana Happy Eagles. Another day with, frustration caused by the rain, as rain pretty much dominated proceedings again today for the second day. And it's left the match, more or less interestingly poised. The Windward Islands, of course, remember they only managed to get to 77-2 at the end of stumps, and they won. They were bowled out for 213. And we had Jeremy Solozano getting 83, Alex Asenez got 39, and Sunil Ambers 33. Well, Verasamy Pomal, he picked up 4 for 55, and Gudakesh Moti 3 for 44 for Guyana. Guyana in their turn at the crease, they were 169 for 3 after 42 overs. And like I said, rain played a big role in that match on day 2 as well. But Kevin Imnat, he ended not out on 40, and Kemal Severy unbeaten on 46 for the Guyana team. And a wicket each has gone so far to Gillan Tyson, Darren Cyrus, and Kenneth Denver. So the scores as we head into day 3 of that encounter is the Windward Islands 213, the Guyana Happy Eagles 169 for 3, and the Happy Eagles are trailing by 54 runs with 7 wickets in hand. In other matches, Barbados and Trinidad, where Trinidad coasted to an easy win inside of 2 days, beating the Barbados Pride by an innings and 68 runs. Barbados again suffered another disaster with the bat as they were bowled out for 121 in their second innings to lose the game by an innings and 56 runs. So remember, yesterday Barbados were bowled out for 86. Trinidad this morning bowled out for 263, with Kamil Puran getting 60 and Amir Jangu 56. And the wicket takers for Barbados, Jason Holder, of course, picked up 5 for 52. And then Barbados bowled out for 121 in their second innings, with only Roston Chase getting 41, and Shea Hope managed 20 runs. And Joshua James, he picked up 3 for 16, Anderson Phillips 2 for 38, and Jaden Seals 2 for 50 for Trinidad. So the final scores in that game, Barbados 86 and 121, Trinidad 263, Trinidad winning that game by an innings and 56 runs. Elsewhere, well, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes are in a commanding position against the combined campuses and colleges team. The Leewards in their second innings were 94 for 1, a lead of 349. Remember, we had first inning centuries from Justin Graves and Jewel Andrews for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. The scores in that game, like we said, 425 and 94 for 1, the Leeward Islands, and the CCC 170 for 9. And in the other matches, advantage Jamaica against the West Indies Academy. Jamaica, of course, 110 for 2 in their second innings, a sizable lead of 274 runs. The first innings for Jamaica, we saw a century from John Campbell. He got 101. In the second innings, Brandon King this time getting a half century, unbeaten on 58, and Jerva Glenn unbeaten on 20. So the scores in that game, Jamaica 375 and 110 for 2. The West Indies Academy 211, and Jamaica, of course, leading by 274 runs with 8 wickets remaining. That's all for now, Hassan Robinson.
And of course, thank you, Gavin Richards. Of course, always in tune and always in point with everything sports. Still continuing in our national focus here in sports, wins for the Dominica State College and the PHR Secondary as the Sports Division Secondary Schools Boys Under-20 Basketball Tournament continued today. Sports Officer UD John has the story.
In the secondary schools under 20 boys basketball championship, there were 2 scheduled matches at the Massacre Indoor facility. In the first match between the Dominica Grammar School and the PHR Secondary School, the Dominica Grammar School failed to be able to fill in a team to start the match. As a result, the PHR Secondary School won by forfeit. In the second match, the Dominica State College defeated the Northeast Comprehensive School 68-57. For the Dominica State College, Kaylan Paul had 23 points, and he was supported by Shomo Kazimi with 14 points and Nigel George 12 points. While for the Northeast Comprehensive School, Danny Harriet scored 21 points and Kilani Abraham 11.
And that was a sports officer, UD John. Still in sports here, 4 schools will battle it out on Friday in the finals of the Sports Division's Secondary Schools in Netball Championships. Convent High School will take on the Casabrusa Secondary School in the Under-16 category at 3:30 p.m., whilst Convent High School will come up against Portsmouth Secondary School in the Under-20 division at 4:30 p.m. Both matches will be played at the Windsor Park Sports forecourt. Coach of the Convent High School Under-20 netball team, Colin John, says her players are confident ahead of their matchup against Portsmouth Secondary.
The key to victory tomorrow is to do exactly what we did last year. The same formula. It worked last year and it will definitely work this year around. We pray, we go hard, and we maintain teamwork.
Convent High School and Portsmouth Secondary, they always have this sort of rivalry. These two schools, generally always meet in the finals. What do you think will set this final apart from previous editions?
What I think will set the girls apart this year, the girls are hungry for this win. They really want this win. Most are saying goodbye this year. It's their last year. And so it's important to them to defend their title. They want this before they can graduate and they can say goodbye to their school.
And I know that the squad, is being captained or, led by Kenya John. How instrumental has she been this season for the school, going undefeated so far in the competition?
Kenya brings a lot of experience to the team, having played with their senior team a few months ago in St. Lucia. She leads her team. She leads well, and I'm very proud of Kenya. But she couldn't have done it without her team. It's teamwork and it's team effort at the Convent High School. I wish both teams all the best tomorrow, and may the best team win. God bless.
And that was the coach of the Convent High School Under-20 netball team, Colin John. Meantime, the coach of the Convent High School Under-16 netball team, Narisia Wright, is looking forward to facing off against the Casabrusa Secondary tomorrow.
Well, for training, as we know, most of the kids are in 4th form, some of them are in 5th form, so we train like two days a week after school. Usually, we do drilling. We do a lot of drills and a lot of strategies. We have strategies that we use on the court in terms of backline ferrying and chest passes and so on, and they are very confident. One thing, when they go to play, They play with their hearts, their mind, and their soul. Very confident set of children, defending champions, and yes, they're ready. We are undefeated. We are very confident that we are defend our championship, and it's going to be an easy game for them because that is something they are accustomed of doing, going in and coming out victorious.
And that was coach of the Convent High School under-16 netball team, Norricia Wright. The Convent High School are the defending champions in both the under-16 and under-20 divisions. DBS Sports will seek to bring reactions from the other coaches in a subsequent sportscast. 2 matches are carded for this evening in the DFA Women's Premier League. At the DFA Technical Centre in Stoke Farm, Maho Soka Strikettes will come up against Mighty Avengers in some football action. Whilst at the La Plaine playing field, it will be Southeast FC versus Kalinago Warriors. Both matches begin at 6:30 p.m. In some basketball news, the president of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Donnie Robinson, is standing by a decision to increase the registration fees for the upcoming national basketball season. The season is due to start at the end of the month. The association has increased the registration by 50%, and teams will now pay $600 to participate in the tournament. Robinson says that is as a result of the increased cost to organize basketball and the difficulty to obtain sponsorship for the league.
You know, the past couple of years we've had challenges running the league. We've been able to deliver the league successfully in terms of meeting our basic costs and you know, going around and lobbying and being able to raise some funds. But as you have rising, for instance, officials, you have facility costs, you have just the mere cost of running the league in terms of hardware, etc. From our association standpoint. We definitely figured out that one of the ways we were able to at least try to cushion that effect and not just be solely dependent on sponsors was to increase the registration fee, and we did that. We announced that. We actually got some feedback, but at the same time, I think one of the points that we discussed last night was explaining how we came up with the increase. And even though we thought that the increase was not going to solve all the issues, but it definitely will help us tackle those problems as we go forward. So yeah, the registration fee was increased from 400 to 600 this year.
President of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Donnie Robinson. Into some cricket, despite plans to introduce more white ball players in the West Indies Test team, all-format head coach Darren Sammy says he has no intentions to disregard the players who have previously been part of the red ball setup. The St. Lucian Sammy says and takes charge of the men's test team on April 1st, replacing Jamaican Andre Coley, whose stint ended in January, with the 2020 team moving up to 4th in the world and the one-day international team winning 4 of 8 series under Sammy. It's been suggested that white ball players could feature prominently in the team going forward. However, Sammy is adamant that there won't be wholesale changes to the test team. The former West Indies captain says many of the current test players will